it's Jessii Vee. Okay, so I know I say this all of the time, but I think this background officially is my favorite background that I've ever had in my entire YouTube career. And that is a bold statement. That is very bold because I have had so many cool backdrops, but this one, I can't even describe how magical it makes me feel. I don't know how well you guys can see because I'm like blocking it as usual, but it is a bunch of bookshelves filled with fantasy novels, and there's like unicorns and dragons and fairies sitting all over the shelves. Oh my gosh, this background literally represents everything I ever want to be? Go. It's just all of my favorite things in one, and I absolutely love it. And I was so torn because I didn't want to give this away. That's how much I love it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna give this backdrop away, but I'm also gonna buy another one for myself that I can keep because I don't want to let this go. There's just so much detail on it. Like, I'm so mesmerized. I keep finding something new every time I look at it, and you guys can't even see the full thing, which is kind of unfortunate because there's a ton of like Disney books down there with Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella. I'm gonna run out of the frame for 1 second so you can see more of it than you can now. 1 sec. Look how pretty it is, and that's not even the full thing. It's so much bigger than you guys can see. I'm just like, I'm gonna cry. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna let you guys know how you can enter to win this backdrop, but first I'm gonna tell you the winner of the one before this one. So the one before this one was a gorgeous forest background that I've rolled up. I need to fold it nicely. I usually like fold it and iron it and make it all pretty for you guys. But the winner of this backdrop is Tricky Alaska, so I have DM'd you, so please get back to me whenever you can. And congratulations, you have won a forest, one of my favorite places in the entire world, forests. It's always so hard like randomly picking one person because I want to pick all of you guys, but as I always say, I'm going to be having a background every single month for the next few years or more, so there's literally so many chances to win. If you would like to win this backdrop behind me, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, and you have to be subscribed to my other channel called Vee Vlogs. So you gotta be subscribed in 2 places, and then also head over to the video where I show my art portfolio and tell me your favorite piece from my art portfolio, and that's how you get entered. Pretty simple. I'm trying to make these backdrop entries simpler than I have in the past. But yeah, I'm going to be announcing the winner next month as usual. So if you want to win this fantasy backdrop, stay tuned. Okay, so time for the story. Today's story is about the time when I was younger when I actually thought that I saw a real angel. Like, I can swear to this day that that is what I thought I saw. And I feel like my whole life telling this story and nobody believes me, which is fair, but I know that in that moment I was like, that was an angel for sure. There was like no doubt in my mind. And I actually can't believe I've never told this story on this channel before because it was so impacting when I was younger. And there could have been very rational explanations, but I'll let you hear the story and then kind of decide for yourself. So this happened back when I was in, I would say grade 6. That sounds like the right age. When I was in grade 6, I was having a lot of issues with bullies on my bus home from school. And I have made so many bullying stories on this channel because unfortunately when I was younger, it was a very frequent thing that I had to go through, mainly in elementary school. Kids are just so mean. And I think they love to pick on shy kids because that's what I was. I like barely said anything. I was so shy. And I feel like bullies love that. When they see a kid that's not gonna defend themselves, they're like, yes, bring them to me. And it definitely sucked because I was someone who was very friendly if you spoke to me first. I was never someone who would like walk up to somebody and talk because I was just so nervous. But I felt like I was really nice to people. I was so respectful to people. So it sucked to receive such horrible treatment from them. Basically what would happen every day, and it started like in the fall where I would get on the bus and usually you'd have like your, not assigned seats on the bus, but they would kind of like put people by age groups. So like the kids in kindergarten would sit at the front, then you have like the grade 3, 4, around that age in the middle of the bus, and towards the back of the bus you'd have like grades 6, 7, and 8. That's kind of how the bus was laid out. I feel like it's kind of like that everywhere. Like you always sit kind of by your age group because the cool older kids always had the back of the bus. I remember being so excited to be in grade 8 because I knew I'd get the very back of the bus. So when I was in grade 6, I was in that weird, like kind of near the back, but not like, I was in a weird spot on the bus. bus in grade 6. But I feel like at the beginning of the year, people kind of picked their seats that they would kind of go to every single time they got on the bus. So I picked a seat that was kind of beside this other quiet guy. It was probably like 6 seats from the back. I know that's very specific. And I feel like the bullying started off with them sort of just like yelling my name, like, Jessii, what did you do in school today? And like they would just like say annoying things to me, and I'd kind of turn around and like kind of like laugh with them, because I feel like when you're really shy and you're in an uncomfortable situation, you kind of just like chuckle and try and like pretend that you're laughing with them. I always like these story times always frustrate me because I am such a changed person now. Like I will defend myself in a second. There is no way with my personality now that I could ever be bullied, because no, I would not let anybody treat me like that. But I just feel like back then I was such a different person. Like when I look back on my life, I feel like it's not even me. Like I barely remember what it was like being me in that time because I was so shy and I didn't stand up for myself, which was so frustrating. Anyways, the bullying progressed to they would put stuff on my seat. So when I would get on the bus, they had all put their backpacks in the seat that I was supposed to sit. So I would go over and I'd be like, can you please move your bags? And they'd be like, no. And so I'd start to like move them off my seat and they'd be like, don't touch my bag. I put it there for a reason. And like I clearly had to sit down to get home. So I'd have to like sort of wedge my way in between these bags, so I'd barely have any room to sit. Sometimes I'd be like right on the edge of the seat. And what sucks is that the bus drivers saw everything and didn't do anything, like at all. So eventually one day I told my mom, and my mom like freaked out, obviously, because I feel like any mother, if they hear their kid is being bullied, they're gonna like they gonna be mad, you know what I mean? And my mom loves me dearly, so she wanted me to tell my principal. And my parents have always wanted my sister and I to kind of take the initiative to do things ourselves before they step in. It kind of just teaches us life lessons, like you can't always rely on your parents to do things. So my mom said like, okay, you're gonna go to the principal tomorrow and you're gonna tell her what's been going on. Like tell her every single detail. These people on the bus need to stop doing this to you. And I was really nervous to do this because like I hate like tattletaling on people, but like you literally have to if you're in such a terrible situation. So I remember the first day that I was supposed to speak to the principal, I walked up to the office, opened the door, walked in, and I got so nervous that I turned around and walked back out. And when I got home, my mom was like, hey, did you talk to your principal today? And I was like, nope, I almost did. I was close. I walked in there, but I turned around. I couldn't do it. I was too scared. So that obviously frustrated my mom, and she was like, no, Jess, like you have to go in there, have the confidence to talk to your principal. And this is where the angel part comes in, because you guys are probably listening to this story like,
okay, like we know you're bullied, but like where's the angel? Like we want to see the angel, Jessii.
So this is how this specific day went down. I remember every day my teacher would take attendance, and then she would ask somebody to bring the attendance down to the office. So I decided that I would pretend that I just wanted to take the attendance down, and while I was there, I would talk to my principal. It just seemed kind of more inconspicuous rather than me asking to see the principal. I'd have a reason to go down because I had the attendance sheet, you know what I mean? So I was walking down the hall with the attendance, and as the office got closer and closer, I was just so nervous. I had this like horrible feeling in my stomach, like I just didn't want to tell on these people. So I walked up to the office, I opened it really slowly, and basically there's like this basket that has all the attendance stuff on the receptionist desk. So I walked up to that first, I put the attendance down, and I was trying to get the courage to tell the receptionist that I want to see the principal. And the important thing about this scenario is that there was no one else in the office except for me and the receptionist, and then my principal was behind a door in her office. So there were no other people around but me and this receptionist in this room. So I look at this lady and I'm about to say, hey, can I speak to the principal? But I get scared. So I just put the attendance down and I turn around and I go to leave the office, and that's when I hear this voice behind me, and it's like, you can do it, Jessii. I remember this so well, and I know you guys are gonna think I'm absolutely crazy, but my 6th grade year old self, how old are you in grade 6? Like 10 years old? I don't know. But I hear this voice behind me. It's like, you can do it, Jessii. And I turn around and there's this old woman. I remember her looking so friendly and inviting. She was smiling. She was just sitting on one of the chairs in the office and she was smiling at me, and I turned to her and she's like, you can do it. I know you can do it. And it's weird because I hadn't told anybody about my bullying situation except for my mom. So it was so weird how this lady kind of just knew what I was thinking and knew that I was so nervous. And I remember her having this like bright aura to her, and I can barely describe it. It's just like she looked bright and friendly. I know that sounds so weird, but she looked bright and friendly. And she had the kindest smile, and I kind of nodded at her. And then I walked up to the receptionist and I was like, you know what? I need to speak to the principal. And I remember that when I turned around again, this old woman was gone. And it's weird because in the moment, I didn't ask the receptionist like, hey, did you see this lady in here? Because at the moment, I didn't think it was an angel. It wasn't until I got home that night that I rethought the situation, that I was like, oh my gosh, that was an angel. That was an angel. And I remember talking to my mom and I was so convinced. I was like, Mom, I saw an angel today. I know she was an angel. She just knew what I was thinking. She was there at the right moment. And I remember my mom kind of like nodding and smiling and kind of saying that she believed me, but thinking back, I don't think she did believe me. I feel like if your kid tells you something so crazy, you're kind of just like, yeah, totally. But honestly, guys, even looking back, I still think that it could have been, because I definitely believe in angels. I mean, I believe in spirits. I believe in all of the bad, so I have to believe in all of the good as well. It just makes sense, you know? And she was the one who got me to actually talk to my principal, and it solved the situation. Since I spoke to her, they never bothered me on the bus again. In fact, a ton of them apologized to me, and like the rest of the year was great, and I was never bullied by those particular people ever again. And it just solved my entire issue. So it's just so weird. Like that, the whole situation was just so bizarre but amazing at the same time. And like, yeah, could it have been like a lady who walked in without me seeing her? Maybe she was like signing out her kid or something, or signing out her grandchild. Yeah, it could have been, sure. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but even if it was a real person, it's weird how she knew what I wanted to do. Anyways though, that's basically the story. Moral is never be afraid to defend yourself. If someone's bothering you, please tell somebody, because every time that I told somebody, my situation changed drastically and I was in such a better headspace and also in such a better place just in my school environment. So anyways, what do you guys think of this story? Do you think I actually saw an angel? Do you think I just saw a really nice person? What do you think? I think I'll always believe I saw an angel. That's just me personally. So anyways though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to apply to win this backdrop behind me. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!